Welcome back to Horns High Studios for another episode of 666 Seconds of Metal. That means each one of these videos is less than 666 seconds or 11 minutes and 6 seconds. And I got my friend Shane here with me from Winnipeg. How's it going,
What's
Shane?
up? Going pretty good. We're just about to get another dose of fucking winter, so not looking forward to that. But
I know. I was like in the 70s here Tuesday, and today it was in the last couple of days in the 30s. So, yeah, what a swing for sure. So, all right. Well, we got some metal to get to tonight. Going to Milwaukee for this one. Some old school death metal. Morta Skuld. Definitely dig these guys. And that brand new Creation Undone album that came out, I did a review of, and these guys are killer.
This is an intense album, man.
Yeah, definitely. So anyway, yeah, these guys are from Milwaukee. I love Milwaukee. It's a great city. They formed in 1990. So, I mean, these guys are going back to the day, quite literally. But there's, they're from Milwaukee, and that's home to some other bands we've talked about on the channel. One of them would be Human Artifacts, and ironically, their current drummer is a former member of Human Artifacts. They were inactive, though, from 1999 to 2011, but came back with a vengeance in 2012 and haven't stopped since. Just killing it. One good release after another. Now, I looked up, I was curious what that name meant, and it's according to an interview done with their singer-guitarist, comes from a Norse mythology legend that has to do with deciding your fate when you're born. It was kind of vague. That's about all I got for it, but that's where it comes from. And the current lineup is Dave Greger on vocals and guitar, Eric House on drums, who's a freaking animal, Scott Walecki on guitars, John Hill on bass, and Eric is not only a former member of Human Artifacts, but he's also a former drummer of the legendary Milwaukee band Jungle Rot, and so that's a good pedigree there for sure.
It is, and I actually hear a lot of Jungle Rot in this album.
Me too. I would agree with that. I would agree, and so it's ironic though that drummer is from those two bands. At Human Artifacts, Joey and I interviewed Matt Bishop, who's from Human Artifacts, but we played with them when I was in Low 12. We played a show. We did the Guar show together.
Cool.
Back in the day.
That would be wicked.
It was wicked. Now, these guys have a ton of releases over the years, a bunch of splits, demos, and EPs. Their first full-length album, Dying Remains, came out in 1993, and they've put out, this is their seventh full-length album, Creation Undone, and it just came out last week. So really good stuff.
The funny thing about this new album, Creation Undone, is I've seen a lot of cases where people have heard it, and this is including me, and it's like, how the hell haven't I heard of this band before? Like, this is wicked, and they've been around for how long, and why am I just hearing about this now?
Right, yeah, they are one of those that somehow flew under the radar. When I was talking with Joey, he knew about them, but I had not heard of them up until I think it was the album before this I'd listened to and I liked, and then this one came out and they asked me to review it. So that's how I got that advanced copy, and played it on the Murder Metal Mayhem show here this week. So. It just dropped on Friday, but they're signed to Peaceville Records from the UK, and they've shared the stage with a ton of legends. I mean, Obituary, Death, Slayer, Napalm Death. I'm sure every big band that came through Milwaukee, they were probably getting in on those shows. So that's awesome. That's awesome stuff. Now, Creation Undone, they didn't disappoint. The production is really good. The album artwork is just really wicked.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, and the band's performance is absolutely fantastic. And looking at this PowerPoint slide, I don't know what happened to that text because that is sure not what it looked like when I was doing it. So I apologize for this crazy text that you guys are looking at. But if you dig old school death metal, this is a must-have for your collection. It's got all the ingredients to just make it an amazing album. 10 songs. Every one of them just absolutely kills. I didn't find a weak spot.
It's a very aggressive album. I find it just gets you going. That's for sure. You can't help but make the metal stink face while you're listening to it. It's just intense.
Yeah, and that first track, "We Rise, We Fall," I thought was a great way to open it up. Just killer driving track. The band has chops for sure. I mean, I mentioned the drummer Eric House putting on an absolute clinic behind that drum set. Unbelievable. All the musicians are good, though, not just Eric. They're all good. The vocalist, guitarist, Dave Greger, doing some double duty there, delivering some really good songs.
Vocals are great. You can actually hear the lyrics, and so, he's very clear on what he's saying.
Yeah, and I like that there's some good groove there. Like you were saying, Shane, that mid-tempo type groove, got a lot of that going on, but they got some up-tempo too, so they mix it up. They mix it up. And I really love the entire album, but the songs that stood out to me would be Soul Piercing Sorrow. That's the one I played on Murder Metal Mayhem. And Self-Destructive Emotions, which is absolutely wicked. I love that song. But, I played this, on the show. I've listened to the album probably 4 or 5 times at least from beginning to end. So I really like these guys a lot.
Yeah, a lot of good songs on there. I like The End of Reason, the second song on there. And you had Self-Destructive Emotions. That's a great one, too. And Perfect Prey. Perfect Prey is a good one. It has a really good chug and grind to it. And
yeah, that album cover, just looking at that is so wicked. So definitely not AI, I would not think. So.
Definitely not AI, but I was playing with it in AI, and I was just trying out to see if I can get the mist to move around and stuff. So I'll have to send you a copy of that.
Oh, wow. That's cool. That's cool. So, yeah. So, we've been on this old school death metal kick now for a while, Shane, and this does not disappoint. In the least.
It does not.
It's great. It's probably going to be in that top 10, I would think, of metal releases. Of course, it's early in the year, and we know last year was unbelievable. So we'll see. But so far, 2024, with Blood Red Throne, I mean, there's been some wicked stuff
There's
already.
been some really good releases this year already.
Yeah. So, it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out, but this is definitely a good one. Yeah, Morta Skuld. Definitely check out this Creation Undone album. Give these guys a listen. They're available on all the streaming platforms. I like to buy the digital releases, but, anything you can do to support the bands, go buy the merch and support the underground. I mean, I've always preached that. I try to buy the shirts as much as I can. Got my Leper Colony shirt I'm going to bust out on the podcast Tuesday. So I love to
it's a good shirt.
I love to support the band. So, well, we appreciate you guys checking out another episode of 666 Seconds of Metal. We'll see you next time.
Horns high.